Two storylines about the same actor broke in the exact same week, and his own studio only responded to one of them. That gap, between the narrative they amplified and the one they let sit in silence, is exactly the kind of detail Rabbit News Hallyu was built to dig into. Here's what actually happened. In early August 2026, a 6-year-old story about Zhang Linghe resurfaced online. Back in 2019, before he was famous, he was studying for China's graduate school entrance exam at a coffee shop, prepping for a career at the State Grid Corporation, when a talent scout handed him a business card instead. That old anecdote got recycled into a new rumor, that he's supposedly preparing for the exam again, right now, in 2026. Neither Zhang Linghe nor his studio has said a word to confirm or deny it. At almost the exact same time, a completely different clip went viral. On a variety show called Let's Start Deduction, Zhang Linghe and fellow cast member Ding Chengxian ate raw water celery on camera without flinching, and the internet decided this was proof of a rare, wordless understanding between the two. Fans nicknamed them a modern version of the legendary friendship between Bo Ya and Zi Qi, two ancient figures famous for reading each other without needing to speak. This time, the studio didn't stay quiet. On August 6th, it released promotional material that leaned directly into the meme. So one viral thread about Zhang Linghe gets official amplification within days. Another one, breaking in the same window, gets total silence. That's not an accident of timing. That's a choice, and it tells you more about how Chinese entertainment agencies manage image than either story does on its own. Most people watching either clip separately wouldn't notice the asymmetry, because they're consuming these as two unrelated pieces of celebrity gossip. But look at them side by side and a pattern appears, one that says something bigger about how modern fame actually gets built. Let's start with what the exam rumor is actually built on. Zhang Linghe graduated from Nanjing Normal University with a degree in electrical engineering. He scored 182 out of 200 on the math section of the Gaokao and posted top marks in physics and chemistry, numbers strong enough that fans have spent years branding him the engineering genius of the industry, a nickname that gets reinforced every time he casually name-drops a physics principle during a live stream. The 2019 coffee shop discovery story is real. What's not confirmed is any version of him actually re-entering that exam pipeline today. His only verified public commitment right now is a fan meeting in Guangzhou on August 9th, which most commenters point to as evidence he simply doesn't have the bandwidth for exam prep, official or otherwise. But there's a theory circulating among fans that's worth pausing on, because it hints at something the coverage keeps stepping around. Some have speculated the rumor gained traction partly because of safety concerns tied to fandom conflict involving other artists at his agency. That's not confirmed by any official source, and it leans heavily on fan interpretation rather than verified fact, but its persistence is itself a data point. When a studio says nothing, fans don't stop talking. They fill the vacuum with their own theories, and some of those theories carry real weight even without confirmation behind them. That's the piece most coverage skips entirely. There's also a professional dimension to this that rarely makes it into the fan discourse. Actors in China's entertainment industry don't just manage a public image, they manage a public timeline. Every unexplained gap, every unconfirmed plan gets read by an audience trained to treat silence as subtext. An idle rumor about switching careers isn't just gossip, it's a stress test of how much control an actor actually has over his own narrative once fans decide a story is worth running with. Zhang Linghe hasn't addressed it, which in practice hands the interpretation entirely to outside voices, fans, aggregator accounts, and eventually international audiences translating the story secondhand, often losing nuance in the process. Here's where the industry logic comes in, and it's the reason silence and amplification aren't random, they're strategic tools that serve very different functions. A story about academic backup plans touches on real anxiety, career instability, fan safety, whether an actor might step back from the industry. Addressing it directly forces a studio to either confirm something inconvenient or issue a denial that could age badly if circumstances change. Silence, in that context, isn't necessarily evasive. It can be a deliberate refusal to add fuel to a topic that has no upside for the brand. Compare that to the raw vegetable moment with Ding Chengxian. That story costs a studio nothing to embrace. It's warm, it's funny, it reinforces the idea of an actor who's likable and unbothered by image control, the exact opposite of a scandal. Ding Chengxian himself appeared to nod at the meme with a cryptic social post about being too handsome to need a windmill, timed suspiciously close to the trend's peak, though he never named anyone directly. When the official variety show account picked up the same phrase the fans coined and pushed the clip to the top of the discussion, that wasn't an accident either. That's a platform recognizing free, high-engagement content and riding the wave. So you end up with two viral stories, same actor, same week, two completely different studio postures. One gets total silence. One gets full-throated support. And that contrast is the real story here, not the exam rumor, not the vegetable clip, but the decision-making sitting underneath both of them. This connects to something bigger happening across the industry right now. Agencies increasingly treat persona not as something they control top-down through statements, but as something they curate through selective amplification. They don't correct every inaccurate rumor, because correcting one invites scrutiny of 10 others. Instead, they let the flattering myths, the genius in disguise story, the too good-looking to be real story, the effortless bromance story, accumulate organically through fan labor, then step in only when a narrative is already safe, already popular, and already free. It's worth noting that this same dynamic shows up in the separate discourse around Zhang Linghe's appearance. Fans have spent months arguing that he went through an unconventional phase, questionable haircuts, an early awkward period, even a stretch in university where his weight reportedly climbed to around 200 pounds before a disciplined 4-month transformation brought him down to roughly 130. But the consensus fans keep repeating is that he was never actually unattractive, just styled badly because his underlying bone structure supposedly carried him through every version of himself. Whether or not that framing is objectively true, its function is identical to the genius scholar narrative, it's fan-generated mythology that makes the studio look good without the studio having to say anything at all. There's an international layer to this too, and it's one Chinese entertainment agencies are increasingly aware of. Stories like the vegetable-eating meme travel well across language barriers because they don't require context. A visual gag reads the same in Manila, Sao Paulo, or Warsaw. A story about domestic graduate school exams, state grid job prospects, and Gaokao scores requires far more cultural translation to land with a global audience, and it carries none of the shareability that makes a clip cross borders. That difference in export value may be shaping which narrative gets institutional backing just as much as any risk calculation around fan safety or career optics. A studio thinking about global platform growth has every incentive to feed the version of the story that plays internationally and let the more locally specific, more sensitive one fade on its own. Put all three threads together and a clearer picture emerges. The engineering prodigy legend, the always attractive legend, and the wordless friendship legend aren't separate stories about Zhang Linghe. They're three versions of the same mechanism, fandom building idealized folklore around a public figure, faster and more convincingly than any official statement could, while the agency decides, story by story, which version of the myth is safe enough to touch. That's not unique to one actor or one agency. It's becoming a defining feature of how celebrity image works across CN right now, persona increasingly assembled through crowdsourced narrative and selective institutional silence, rather than through press releases. Current evidence doesn't confirm a deliberate top-down strategy behind every choice here. But the pattern, engage with the flattering, ignore the sensitive, is consistent enough across this 1 week alone that it's hard to read as coincidence. Whether Zhang Linghe himself is even aware of how these narratives are being managed around him is a separate question, and one the available material simply doesn't answer. What is clear is that the loudest stories about him this month weren't things he said. They were things fans built, and things his studio quietly chose to stand behind, or chose not to touch at all. If you're into entertainment stories that go past the headline, the kind that catch the quiet signals most coverage misses, Rabbit News Hallyu was built exactly for that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just news.